So, depending on which order I post these videos in, some of these videos will definitely be somewhat out of order and or so on with the comes of the context of it. But I definitely think that again, let's try to get back to it the best way we can. We definitely need school reform in some type of God first, plentiful way. Because kids need to understand and learn how to love life through school, how to love their neighbors through school, love their parents, love their families, and more. School needs to be an outlet for these kids to love life, love living, and actually want to do something in life, and so on. And I definitely think, again, a child's mental health, ladies and gentlemen, is as simple. A lot of people's mental health is just having that open dialogue conversation with them about life, school, and sports, and actually being willing to invest yourself, in making all three of those work together, to once again be as cohesive as they possibly can, you know. Definitely wouldn't say that again. I know everything when it comes to it, but I've been there around the block too many times at different schools already, and had conversations with the parents, with the students, with some of the teachers, and more. And I've literally already, did part of what I needed to do to again get the answers, let alone read a lot of school reviews online to get the answers that I need or what we need in today's society to better reform tomorrow's education system. And a big part of what we need to do to reform it has a lot to do with when it comes to understanding the curriculum that we're trying to teach to kids, let alone get real educators in there that actually know how to not just teach the subject, but know how to teach character and inspire the kids to want to learn, and so on. That's not to say every teacher has to, want to be me and, be a best friend to the child, to once again, I would say, try to get the best out of the child and let them know that you're there for them. But there's other ways to be there for a child without being their best friend. And or at least when it comes to, whichever way you define being a best friend is, I would say, because, at times, it's like saying you can be a best friend to a child without getting into the child's personal life, dare I say, I think, or whatever way I can phrase that. God first most appropriately, and that's really what it is. Not to say that that they have to want to be the child's best friend, but they have to know what makes the child tick to want to learn. That's a big part of what it is. You have to know what, and I think that's a really huge part of what it is. Knowing what makes the child tick to want to learn. And if you can do that, I do believe again you'll get happier kids, you'll get more successful students, and you'll absolutely get higher test scores and naturally. And again, people are just gonna love life because they're gonna love school, and balancing that out with sports, you got the whole shebang right there. And people got to understand we're all humans on this earth. I think a lot of us keep on trying to pretend like we're not humans, or we forget that we're humans, on this earth to give ourselves, we forget we're humans. We forget we're lost, fallen, and broken to give ourselves reasons and excuses to bash other people and think that we're better than other people and so on. I really don't think a lot of us really know God the way we claim to know God. We really don't. I think a lot of us just claim to know God just so we can give ourselves that pat on the back that I'm doing the right thing, even when, in the, fool, what you're doing, is being a fool, and so on. And we really got to understand that about ourselves. We're really no better than the next. We're all fallen, lost, broken sinners. We totally are. And I think that once everybody starts to understand that, to the context that they need to understand that, I do understand or do believe that our world will be in a much better place. But a lot of us forget who God even is, forget who Jesus is, forget what he died for, forget a bunch of this stuff. We forget it. And that's why we walk around thinking that just because we got all this material wealth, we got it made in life. No, you don't. Just because you drive the fastest car don't mean, you're the coolest person, etc. And I do believe again these are the things that we just don't get anymore, and that we've been slowly losing sight of for years. All the material wealth don't equal, I want to say, don't equal spiritual wealth, and that's definitely something. Let alone all the material wealth don't fix your mental health, and so on. And I definitely think that's something a lot of us lose sight of or just don't care about when it comes to the mental health aspect of it, because we feel like, and that's why I think a lot of people sold their soul already, because I do feel like if you have been through it enough times, you would understand this, that the mental wealth or the physical wealth, the material wealth, you would understand that if you've been through it like that. I think so. Let alone if you went through it and you didn't lose sight of it, lose track of it, that your material wealth isn't going to fix your spiritual health. You know, and let alone again, if you really think about it, your spiritual health is connected to your mental health. If you really, at least what a person asked me. And I just definitely think these are the things that we lose sight of, we lose track of, and pretend they don't exist just so we can stay broken instead of being fixed, etc. You know, and I do believe that, again, do your own research. If I do post this video, do your own research as you need to and as you must. But I do think a majority of what I keep on preaching in all these videos and all my music is something that I think, have all known for years. But again, let alone decades, we just lost sight of them and lost track of them because we've been so indulged into once again thinking that we just had it made because all we had was our material wealth. Material wealth ain't gonna buy you to heaven. Having the biggest house on the hills or biggest house on the mountain, ain't gonna buy your way to heaven. People don't get it. They really don't get it. Having the fastest car ain't gonna get you to heaven no faster, and so on. People just, they don't get it. And I think they really chose to forsake it. They really chose to forsake their mental health, and their spiritual health for material wealth. I mean, especially when you look at today's society, I've said it a million times. Do you really think that, I don't know when this world's going to end, but do you really think that we're living to the next 5 years if you look at this in today's society? Now, that's not to say that we will or we won't, but think about it for a second. So do you think that whatever Lamborghini you buy now, you're going to have any value when the stock market crashes and a bunch of other crap happens? Think about it. The Bible's been warning you about this forever. It's not to say don't go out there and buy what you want, but don't go out there and let it consume you and take over you and think that this is all life is about, meant for, and so on. You're supposed to live life to worship, to worship God and walk with Jesus. That's what you're supposed to be living life for. And through that, naturally, the other material things will come. And you'll be able to enjoy them more fruitfully because you did it the right way, etc. So like I said, I really don't know how many other different ways I can, phrase it, put it in the context. But I definitely want people to totally understand that about health. Definitely mental health. We really need to start having those conversations. And I mean, generally, having those conversations and understanding where we fall with them. Because you're not going to get any better in life, school, and sport but if you ignore your mental health and pretend like you don't need any help. And then, you're just going to ruin yourself like that. And literally drive yourself crazy. And I hope that one way somehow people get it. Because it really isn't hard to understand. But that's just if you were to ask me. And yeah, I got probably many different ways I can analyze it. If not just probably analyze it the same way. Just within, different words. If not same words, just, different order of using them. But we'll see. We got to pay more attention to our health, ladies and gentlemen. We got to pay more attention to our mental health. And that's why I do think I'm a proud sponsor of it when it comes to the youth development. Mental health. Because I want kids to believe in themselves. I want them to learn to love their families. And know that they always have outlets to go to speak to somebody about anything. Because I do believe, again, a lot of kids, they don't need medication. They don't even need IEPs. They just need somebody that's going to have a genuine conversation with them. So they can be heard. And feel like their opinions are valued, and so on. And again, if you don't know what IEP stands for, Individualized Education Plan, learned that in my time in East High School, St. Louis County School District. A lot of schools need to adopt that. They really, again, want to get their students out with, they really want to tailor things to their students, strengths and weaknesses, which a lot of schools don't care about doing, but you get the point. If you really want to get your kids out with dignity knowing they learned what they needed to learn, and uh, yeah, knowing they learned what they needed to learn, and something else I'm trying to think about there, knowing what they needed to learn within a, I guess you could say, timely manner, or whatever else you could put there. Know what they needed to learn so they can successfully move on to the next level in a fruitful, prosperous manner. So I don't know if I post this or not. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. God bless you, boy, the man, NJ to the city. I'm gonna come soon regardless, cause I'm your boy, the man, NJ to the city. Peace.